Carissa Hill, built her first multi-million-dollar business before the age of 30, and now she helps thousands of entrepreneurs grow with confidence, balance, and freedom.
My first successful launch made like $105,000 off a live stream that I did in my Facebook group, and I was like, I am going all in on this now.
Can we dive into that?
That's outrageous, by the way.
Yeah.
My biggest one was $750K.
What's the biggest mistake that you made back at the start of your journey, and that's the main thing that you stop most of your clients making now?
Probably just my team are all running everything behind the scenes. As I just told you before, someone paid me $2,500 before I got out of bed this morning.
That's a lot.
And then I just get up, I'm like, cool. I was very alone, felt alone as a child, didn't feel like my family really understood me very well. I really didn't have any support until I was, in like my mid to late 20s when I started joining like a business mastermind group and things like that.
So if someone's in a similar boat to what you're in, didn't necessarily feel that supported, they're in that boat now, but they've got an idea, they've got the fire in them to do something, what would be your advice?
Well, I think
Guys, welcome back to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business with Adam Powell and Harvey Rivers. You're in for a cracker.
Yes, we've got another special guest today. Today we're joined by Carissa Hill, and Carissa built her first multi-million-dollar business before the age of 30, and now she helps thousands of entrepreneurs grow with confidence, balance, and freedom. Her journey is all about overcoming fear, backing yourself, and creating a business that supports your life, not the other way around. Welcome to the pod.
Thank you. I'm excited to be here.
We've had people before who, like, when we're reading out these nice intros, they kind of sit there a little bit squirmish.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They're like, oh,
I
you're
know, I'm
pretty
just
solid.
like, yes, that's me.
That's me. I love it.
AJ from Revel Saunas, he was like, God, I feel so awkward when people do this. So I was saying ads, I was like, just look him dead in the eyes the whole time.
But I want to kick us off with, I guess, talking about fear, right? A lot of people are way too scared to ever take the plunge, take the risk, do the thing that they know scares them, give them that massive reward on the other side of it. What's, I guess, the scariest moment you had and the feeling you had before you backed yourself and have now proven to yourself what you can achieve by taking that risk?
It's interesting because there was a period of my life where I look back and I actually didn't have a lot of fear. Like, I just was excited to try things and I didn't care if they didn't work. Like, I always had a backup plan. So like when I first, quit my job and went in on one of my businesses, I was just like, well, if it doesn't work out, I'll just get another job. I didn't care that much. But then as it grew and as it got, bigger and more responsibility, then the fear starts to come in. I think the scariest part was when I actually started my personal brand and I started putting myself out there and making YouTube videos. Like, I felt so embarrassed, so cringe, and I would make videos, post them, and then like delete them 3 days later because I'm like, no, like it's bad. Or you'd start thinking about all these critical comments that are going to come and like people criticizing your appearance or you don't know what you're talking about. And then my best friend, Mel, actually helped me with a fear setting exercise, which I'd never done before, which is basically looking at all the worst case things that could possibly happen and then making a plan for what you're going to do if they happen. So like, if I got trolled by someone, what was I going to do? Well, probably cry about it and then block them. Like that was it. How bad is that? And then, remind yourself of why you're doing it as well. So my mission was I really want to try and help people and I want to build something for myself. So is that stronger than the fear?
Love it.
If so, that should win.
That was my exact conversation with our mindset coach the other day. Because obviously I shared before, like we're about to launch something that's going to put us into the spotlight a little bit in our industry. And one of the biggest worries we have is trolls. And she was like, when you break it down, she's like, do you really care that much?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, but it's just those mental frameworks and triggers. Okay, when I feel like this is the response, this is the value or the kind of mission I'm on that I have to remind myself. And then all of a sudden it just goes away. Yeah.
And I also have reframed how I think about trolls now. I used to think like, oh no, there's something wrong with me if someone's attacking me. And now I'm just like, what a disgusting person you are. Like, what a scummy, gross person. Like, why are you wasting your life doing this? Like, yuck.
It is that, right? And it's so easy to get caught up in it. But I think if you look around the people around you, anyone who's ever had a crack, anyone who's ever recorded a video and put it on YouTube, started a business, they would never, ever say anything negative to someone else who's having a go.
No, I would never do that to someone. Even if I didn't like them, I'd just scroll past and be like, good for you.
Well done. You'll get better, right? You'll learn. Like if your first video compared to your 100th.
Yeah.
It's so bad. but it's the doing the first one, which then gets you to do the second, gets you to do the third, and it's the reps and the momentum.
And then it just starts to feel normal.
100%. And even doing this stuff now. Like we started out walking around my complex with the phone out, hey, we're Adam from Harwell, how you going? Felt like a loser. But then you do that and then you get used to it. And then for me, you start seeing the impact.
Yeah.
I'm a really logical, deep personality type person. So if I didn't want to go and record a video, I'd then go, okay, and similar to what you mentioned a minute ago, is how much I don't want to record a video stronger than the potential upside of doing the video and then getting a client and then filling the job and then getting money in the bank?
Yeah.
And then logically I'm going, if I don't post this video, I'm costing my future self money in the pocket.
Yeah.
Get over yourself.
And also, like, I'm really aware that my brain tries to sabotage me constantly as well. Like, I always am like, I'm going to do this, and I book it in, and I'm like, no, I don't feel like doing that. I don't want to do that. I can do that later. Let's cancel it. Let's move it. I'm like, shut up. Do the thing. Like, just keep your promises to yourself. And then that's how you build, like, self-esteem and self-respect as well. So that's really important.
Is that something you've got better at over time?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what did you do to get better? Was it just constant reps?
I think so. And I think also like just different phases of life. Like there's been times of life where I've been really stressed or really anxious and it gets worse in those times. And then there's other times where I'm feeling like pretty confident or secure and then it's easier to just do things. So at some point, sometimes my brain's like just excited to do stuff and other times I really have to force myself. But I think just being aware of the fact that there is often that little voice in your head that's always trying to talk you out of things and just you've got to choose to tell it to shut up.
It's so important to hear people like yourselves in your shoes saying that, because one problem with social media today is we just see people's highlight reels, right?
Yeah.
And you see someone through a screen and people probably think like, wow, Carissa, killing it, so confident, but it's so probably comforting for them to know that you still have those moments of self-doubt and you still have to pick yourself up on it and push through.
Yeah, I literally wrote a post about that yesterday.
That's cool. I do quickly want to dig back to the first question we asked, because most people listening to this podcast might be sat on a business idea and the hardest thing is that fear of actually making the first move. But it sounds like for you, there wasn't fear back then, and it's actually more prevalent now.
Yeah, like even what you were saying, like, I started selling things as a kid. Like in primary school, I was that kid that was like, oh, if I buy lollipops before school from the local shop, then I can sell them for twice as much in class when people want a lollipop at school and they can't get candy. Or we had a CD burner when I was a teenager, and I used to make mixed CDs for people and just buy blank CDs and then charge them $5 for a CD, and I would pay, like, I had no fear of those little things. It's just when it started to get more serious and there was more like, responsibility, people involved, bills, that kind of thing. So
is it in the family, entrepreneurship? Because it sounds like, and I love the sweet selling at school. I think that is the number one marker of which way your life's going to go. Right? I remember walking around my blazer, jingling around with 17 pound in there back in England. But for you, your family into business, or were you kind of breaking the mold a little bit by
really? My dad's like always been a bit creative. He was a web developer. He was always self-employed or like a teacher, which I am, teacher and into web and geeky stuff and marketing. My mum is a medical receptionist and she's had the same job her whole life, loves the routine. But no, I don't think my dad was ever like that. And I've just always wanted to monetize every single thing that I do. Like I can't think of anything without coming up with a way to sell it. Yeah. And even when I'm talking to my friends and they're telling me something, I'm like, oh, you could start a business doing that. We could sell this. So it just excites me.
And then what is it about the personal brand and going public and putting yourself out there? What is it about that scares you rather than failing in private?
I think it's just so when I used to have a chain of hair and beauty salons. That was my first business that took off quite rapidly. I started from home and I grew a chain of 5 salons in Brisbane, and I had that whole thing running without me, but I was still behind the scenes then. I was still very much like, I want to be the owner of this business, but I don't want people to know me. I want them to know the staff. I just want to do the marketing. And then, yes, when I transitioned into coaching and teaching people how to grow their businesses, do the Facebook marketing, set it up to run without them, it was all about me. So that was the difference. It was just like all the anxiety starts popping up and like, what are people going to think about me? What are they going to say about me? I still thought I wasn't good enough. It's just like, you've done all these things, but that little voice is still there to like, no, there's other people that have done better than you, you're not all that.
I can imagine I am thinking, and potentially people listening to this now, is so you had 5 salons. It's running without you. You're behind the scenes. So you're not out there open to criticism. Why would you not just continue on that vein of life?
I got bored.
Wow.
And also I realized I liked the marketing more than I liked the salons. So I didn't know, like, I made my role to do the social media marketing and to do the online marketing because I was good at that and I was really good at bringing customers into the business. And that's why I was able, like, to keep them all so busy and keep growing because I was really good at getting clients. And then there came a point where a lot of other business owners and salon owners were asking me, like, what are you doing on your social media? How are you getting clients? And I was like, oh, you just do this and you boost a post. And they're like, I don't get it. So then I started making some videos or teaching people, and then people started offering to pay me. And I was like, oh, that's a business idea. I can make money out of that.
Yeah.
And then I just saw, because having physical brick and mortar businesses and salons is really, like, you can do high turnover, but a lot of expenses, a lot of wages, a lot of rent, a lot of insurance, a lot of stock. Like, there's not that much profit left over. And a lot of salons that I work with experience the same kind of issues. But the online business thing, I was like, I could make so much more money online without all of these physical shops. And then my first successful launch that I did, I made like $105,000 off a live stream that I did in my Facebook group. And I was like, I am selling the salons and going all in on this now.
Can we dive into that? What was the strategy then to get the awareness and the hype so that you can go and make 105 grand in one live stream? What was the mechanics and the
That's outrageous, by the way.
Yeah, that's
my biggest one was 750K.
Jesus.
How long do you do these live streams for?
An hour.
Let's dive into this. Give us a warts and all. Let's have it all.
I accidentally did a really long pre-launch. So when I first started my online business and coaching, I was just doing free content all the time, basically for fun. I didn't have a strategy to try and make money out of it. I was just making YouTube videos. I have my Facebook group called Coffee with Carissa. I think there's 33,000 people in there now. There was like 5,000 at the time when I did that launch. And I was just warming people up constantly. I was just giving free value, helping people for free, giving reviews, like just tips, talking about, and I was really digging into like all their objections as well and kind of overcoming them in my content. Like just like, oh, you think you can't do this, but you can do this if you think about it this way, and like a lot of mindset kind of stuff. So I didn't know what I was doing. I was just like trying to reprogram their minds to believe in themselves. Mm-hmm. And then I'd never even taken an online course before, but I created one. So it was like, I didn't know, this is like 13 years ago, online courses weren't that big back then. And I did a webinar, which I hadn't, and then I streamed it live into my group, and I just sold my course. It was a $1,200 course, or I did a payment plan, $125 a week over 12 weeks or something like that. It was a $1,500 course, and I just had like 100 people sign up. So and then I was like, this works. I'm going to repeat this. And then I did it again and again for years, and every launch just got bigger and bigger. It's different now because live streams aren't as popular anymore. Like you can go live and not as many people jump on it. But that was a really great time. That was pre-COVID. And now I find webinars work a little better, or like just DM conversations and stuff are working really well for me now.
What did you do back then to learn all of this? Because at 21, you jump in, and other than selling sweets and burner CDs at school, it sounds like that was your first experience into business, and quite aggressively, all of a sudden you're owning 5 salons in Brisbane.
Yeah. So I am just obsessed with people. I'm obsessed with psychology. I think I'm a little bit like ADHD or autism. Like I get really fixated. Like I get a special interest and I obsess over something and I want to know every single thing about it. So I got really, really obsessed with like understanding people, psychology, sales psychology, different personality types, different beliefs. So I just like went down rabbit holes of like reading books and watching videos and like and just talking to people and asking millions of questions. Like I've just always been someone who asks a lot of questions. And so by digging, like asking people questions, I just learned everything that's going on inside people's heads. And even then when I started teaching people what to do, I'm just like, I can show them exactly what to do and they're still not going to do it.
Yep.
Why? So then I'm like going down what's going through their heads. Why aren't they doing this? Are they doubting themselves? Is their anxiety? Is it not clear enough? Like what are their beliefs around this?
You've nailed it. Like how you learned back when you're 21. jumping in, it sounds like you just purely obsessed over who your end user was and learned everything about them.
I get very obsessive. I get very like, even like thinking back to when I was a kid, I only ever had like one main interest at a time kind of thing. Like I was obsessed with My Little Pony. That was my only thing. And then I was obsessed with Hanson. That was the only band that I liked. Like there was no other bands.
Good tunes. Do you know any Hanson songs?
No, I'm not very good at music.
Bop, is that the one? Is that one of them? Yeah, that's them.
Yeah. But yeah, I tend to just like pick one thing and just go like really all in on it.
So the two things that really stood out there was one, absolute obsession with understanding the customer and the customer psychology.
I teach that a lot too.
And then two, the marketing and I guess the natural flair and creativity of it as well, where you put those together, you could pretty much sell anything, right? Because you're finding out what's the problem and then you're marketing, giving them the solution for a different strategy as well.
Yeah.
Hey guys, it's Jake and Lockie from Naturally Cooked Sunscreen, and we're pumped to be sponsoring the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
We're on a mission to foster a generation of Australians that take sun safety more seriously and encourage it amongst their mates. You can find us at naturallycooked.com.au or follow our socials at Naturally Cooked Sunscreen. Good on you.
And I think showing them that you understand them is a really big thing as well. Like a lot of people try to make it all about like me, look at what I've done. And I have this kind of, I guess, philosophy, whereas like the different social media platforms, my Instagram is more like, look at me, look at what I've done. And then in the Facebook group, it's all about them. Like it's all about the members. It's a group, it's a community. So I do posts that are always asking questions and they get heaps of comments because people want to talk about themselves. And then I get heaps of market research from that because they open up and they tell me their deepest, darkest secrets. Even in one of my landing pages for when people inquire about my course, I ask them questions like, how's your mental health right now? How much money do you have in your bank account? How much money are you making? How much do you want to make? Do you have kids? Does that affect your business? Do you have a partner? Are they supportive? Like, because all of that influences their success or lack of success. And the more I know about that, then one, I get really good content ideas and they're like, oh, she knows me. Do you know what I mean? So
is that early on in the piece, or do you ask those questions once they've actually paid and they become part of your community?
No, that's before they pay.
That's before.
Yeah.
Do you find people are a bit kind of hold back on those questions? No, people give you everything. Yeah. That's so powerful. I love where the mission you had around learning your ICP effectively, and then as Ad said, the marketing to get and talk to those people, because most people don't start businesses because they hate sales. And sales is the heartbeat of a business, especially in the early days. And I think we did an episode a few weeks ago now, basically dug into sales and why it's so scary. But what we've learned is if you actually truly understand your end user and their pain points, the things that inspire them, you don't feel like you're selling. You're just talking to this almost imaginary client persona and just going, I'll just put every piece of content towards them, and it sells itself. Yeah.
And I also like to, I find if I'm focused on sales, and this I think just as a personal motivation thing as well, like of course I want to make a lot of money, but if I'm focused too much on the sales that I want to make, then I lose motivation and I don't do it because I'm focused on that. But if I think about like, there's all these people out there that are struggling so much right now and they need this help. Like if they knew what I know, they would be way better off than they are now. So I use that as my motivation. I go in really confidently to be like, no, you need this. Like, are you going to keep doing what you're doing now forever? Like, are you happy? You came to me for a reason. Like, let's change it. So
it's a powerful mindset shifts when you go to do it to be of service.
Yeah.
So rather than, I can make some money here, no, I can serve my customers and I can make their life better. I think that's a different level of energy and motivation.
Yeah.
And even the way you communicate, I think how that comes across, it comes across as really beneficial for them rather than self-serving.
Yeah. And my motivation has always been their win or their result. Like my goal, if someone takes their course, is like, I want that screenshot of them being like, oh my God, Carissa, I just made like $5,000 from a boosted post or something. I'm like, yes, that's my marketing. Whereas when it was the hair and beauty salons, it was like, you know, someone would get a beautiful set of hair extensions and you like get that picture and you're like, that's like, you know, the result is the win. And then that becomes the marketing and then it becomes like a self-fulfilling little thing.
Self-development seems like it's been a really pivotal transition for you in life. I guess before the salons was general improvement, you know, and learning. Was that a big part of your life, or has that come as you felt you needed to improve to maintain the level of growth you've had in business?
I think that came along the way. Like I think I had two maybe 3 salon locations before I started going into like self-development and business education. Like I was just winging it the whole time. And then one thing that I really realized was like I just expected staff to do their job properly and be good. And I was like, there's this thing called leadership.
Yeah.
So,
we've learned the hard way there as well.
Big time.
yeah, people don't like it when you just leave them alone and expect them to do the job. It doesn't work. So I did have a lot of issues with staff along the way. Like I got stolen from, people started their business and tried to, take all my clients, people, bitching about me behind my back, all of that kind of stuff and then, I blamed them at first until I looked at myself and was like, actually, I think this is a me problem. Also, that forced me to look at personality types and make sure I had the right people working for me as well because they weren't all compatible. And then, that sparked that. I just started reading so many books on psychology and also, leadership and a lot of like spiritual self-development stuff like Wayne Dyer and that kind of thing as well, which is really, really helpful.
That's our world, people. Like that's obviously what we do at Harwell, and we've seen the good and the bad. Like we can see the impact that the right people have in an organization, and again on the other side, we can see the damage that the wrong people can cause. But I'd love to know, you're 21, 22, you've got 3 salons, you've not been on this personal development journey, and you don't know much about business. How did you deal with the pressure?
I was blissfully ignorant.
Yeah, wow, okay.
Like looking back, I've always been a really, I guess, just like optimistic, almost delusional type, like, let's just see what happens. If it doesn't work out, it'll be fine. We'll figure it out. And then I got into Buddhism. I got like a lot of Buddha and lotus tattoos on my arm there as well. I got really depressed and at one point and like really not well mentally and had this little voice pop into my head out of nowhere that's like, Google Buddhism. I'm like, okay. So I did. And then that taught me about non-attachment, which is basically just like don't get attached to specific outcomes because that's what causes suffering when things don't work out the way that they do. And that really helped a lot going forward because then it was just kind of like, well, may as well try things. This is your life. You only get so many, like, are you going to see what happens or not see what happens? And everything is figure outable and fixable as well. So if something doesn't work out, you just deal with it and try again.
I think you make it sound so simple.
It is.
Yes,
it is. In the physical world, it's simple, but in the mental, emotional world, it's really hard.
And
so
self-sabotage, right, is a word that comes to mind, and the fear of failing is another one. It seems like you've always been pretty clear-minded of, I'm going to take the action to get to the next step.
Yeah.
Has it always been that easy internally as well? Has Buddhism help with that?
Yes and no. So, I journal a lot as well. I find that, like, if I keep too much in my head, I go a bit crazy. So I need to write things down, pen and paper, and that is probably a really good life hack because then if I'm overthinking something or spiraling on something, then I can write it down, like, get it out, look at it, and just be like, is this true or is this just thoughts?
It's the brain, the human brains. We're just wired just to self-sabotage at every single turn. Like even now, we have days where we wake up and we're launching this business that we told you about off air. And there's days we wake up and we go, mate, what the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
And then there's other days where we sit down and we're planning the content, we're writing out the curriculum. We're like, we're ready to take on the world. We feel like the Hulk.
Totally. I had one of the, I think that's an ADHD thing too, because I get these days where I actually used to call it business bipolar. And this is the reason why one of the reasons why I set up my business to run without me, because I learned about myself at a really young age that like I wasn't consistent or like in my energy, or so I'd have 2 or 3 days in a row where I was like on fire, I could work all day, had all the ideas, like I'm a genius, I can do everything, and then I would just burn out like crazy and like didn't want to talk to anyone, didn't want to do anything. I was just a flat battery, and I was like, I can't, like I'd call in sick to my own work, I'd have to cancel the clients and things, and I was like, I need to hire people who have like a consistent level of energy because mine's all over the shop. And then the more research I started researching, why am I like this? What's wrong with me?
I've been nursing ever. You can Google something like that.
But I just accepted it. Like, oh, this is how I operate. I've got these days of like, and also for women, it can be to do with your menstrual cycle as well. Like there's periods of time of the month where you've all this energy and other times where you like got nothing. I went to see a psychologist and I was like, do I have bipolar? Like, am I crazy? And she's like, no, you're probably just a creative entrepreneur. And like everyone that is a, creator of some kind, like these famous musicians and whatever, they're all a little bit crazy, but you've just got to channel it in the right directions, in healthier directions. So yeah, I just learnt my strengths and learnt my weaknesses, and then I really make sure to outsource my weaknesses. So even in my online business now, like I pick and choose where I work, when I work. Like this morning I'm doing this interview with you guys and I'm meeting a friend for a brunch and a content date where we're just going to take photos of ourselves. My team are all running everything behind the scenes. Like I jump in and check my messages and close sales and stuff from my phone. As I just told you before, someone paid me $2,500 before I got out of bed this morning. That's a lot. And then I just get up. I'm like, cool. So I really like to. I know that my strengths are being a bit of a creative mess. Like that's what I'm good at, all the ideas. But I'm not good at consistency and following systems. So I like to start things and then systemize them and then hire someone to follow the systems. Yeah.
It's the power of knowing yourself and learning yourself. Like I look back to where we were 2 years ago, and yes, we're better recruiters technically because we've invested a lot into actually learning it as a craft a bit more, I'd say. But I feel like the biggest transition for us is like I know myself so much more now than what we did back then, and it's through working with psychologists and mindset and performance coaches, and we know what the triggers are when we're stressed, and we've done these sessions together, so we know what each other's triggers are and how best to deal with each other. I know when I'm on form, and I know what pieces of work or what type of work I should be doing when I'm on form. But the most powerful thing was our mindset coach said to us, learn how to perform in every single state. So you don't need to be at this elite level every single minute of every single day, which I was obsessing with. She's like, you just need to know what your performance is when you're having your shit days. And in our role where we're quite client facing, we're on the phones, we're on video, we're at face-to-face meetings, I have to be on to be able to do that. Yeah. But she said, when you're having your shit day, go and lock yourself in that little dark room next door. She's like, just go and do data scraping. Yeah. Sit there and go, I'm going to find 200 people that are my ICP. So when I'm in my on state tomorrow and I'm ready to go, she says, you've got the list there and you don't need to procrastinate in the morning. Yeah. And just that simple shift of learning ourselves has changed the world for me.
Yeah. And I kind of look at myself, I don't know if you guys are into human design or anything, but that was another rabbit hole I went down, and I found that I'm
What's that?
How do you explain
it's
design?
like the star sign.
It's kind of like, I don't. No? You'd have to find an expert. But it's based on like your date of time of birth and place of birth and like
gene keys.
Yeah, same thing.
Similar.
Okay.
Yeah. So I'm what's known as a manifesting generator, which means I'm not on all the time. Like a generator is more someone that, like, let's say you're a battery, like they generate their own energy and they're very consistent. Whereas I look at myself as like, I am a battery and I can be fully charged and go. And then I need time my battery goes flat and I need to recharge. So similar to what you just said, in those days, like I know that I can't do these other things on those days, like be on camera and do heaps of sales activity or content creation because my brain's just like a mush. Yeah. But I can do like, I don't know, basic stuff or like just input, like learning or reading a book and it's all still, taking you in the right direction.
The journey you go on through that kind of self-assessment and self-awareness, I think there's a really tough middle part. Before you need to become more self-aware and you kind of just in the thick of things. And then afterwards, when you are self-aware, the middle bit's tough because for me, and I know Harves as well, knowing him, the guilt gets you. It's the guilt of, well, I used to do everything and do it really, really well. Why can I now not? Or the business has grown. I need to invest another 10, 20 hours a week, but I haven't got the capacity to do it. And then coming back to the highlight reel comment, but on Instagram, you see people who seem to be on all the time and work 60 hours a week and life's they're bulletproof,
you don't
right?
see their like...
Did you kind of go through that as well with the guilt of I should be doing more, I could be doing more, but you actually just have nothing more to give?
Yes, and especially when I had kids because I was so like, work 12-hour days and stuff. And then I had to have this is what I said before about like different periods of life. Like some of the most challenging parts that I've been through was having babies, obviously, and you have no energy, you got no sleep, you have like 1 hour a day that you could do something. Yeah. So I really had to change my whole mindset and be like, well, if I can only do one thing a day, what is that one thing going to be? Because that it needs to be something that's really important. Don't just waste that on an Instagram post if that's not the best thing to do that day, kind of thing. It might be following up with a client and offering them something else, but yeah, really identifying that one thing a day and then like not beating yourself up about it. Like, I ticked my box, like that's my thing. And then there's other periods of life, like, you know, I went through a divorce in 2021, and then I was just really, I didn't know who I was, what was happening. There was a lot of mental confusion going on there, processing that. And I definitely wasn't my best self for like a year. And then just, yeah, learning like what you have the capacity for at certain times of your life. And then, you know, once you've moved through that, I'm in a new relationship now. I just got engaged to my new partner. Yes. So that's exciting and feeling really energized and positive again. So like, yeah, life throws different things at you and you have to kind of pivot and change. But I think the best thing in those moments is also having the support. Like, I need my team in those times because they can step up and keep things running.
How freeing that must be though, because people talk about the risk of leaving a secure 9-to-5 job and starting your own business. But what people don't talk about enough is how freeing that must have been, where you're going through those difficult period of life, or, you know, you're having kids, you can only work 2 to 3 hours a day, but being able to do that without the external pressure, or I'm having a down day today, I can change my tasks as a result of that, rather than this robotic rhythm we're expected to be in as humans, as a 9 till 5, where you have a company telling you, you must execute this every single day.
Yeah.
Like, people don't talk enough about that. Just the freedom to be able to create your own schedule in your life around that.
Yeah. Yeah. And that I think was like always my dream vision, is like, I don't want to not work because, you know, I like it, but I want to work on the things that I enjoy, that I'm best at, that I'm good at. And yeah, you can do that if you know yourself. And also I made a reel a little while ago about this one woman who just would not let go of control and let her team take over everything. Like, a lot of people get really in their ego and think that they are the only ones that could do everything as well. And they find it really difficult to like trust anyone, especially if they've been burnt before. I had a mentor once give me some really good advice around that, because I got into that. Like, I'd had a few employees that had stolen from me and lied to me and all of that kind of stuff. And I was like, well, now I have to micromanage everyone. Like, I can't trust anyone anymore. And he's like, Carissa, you have to give trust until trust is broken. Like, you can't project what they did onto someone else. It's not fair to that other person. So then I had to think like, well, there's actually really good people out there as well as really bad people. And it's like sales, a filter system or a interview system, and you just have to weed through the people to find the right ones.
You mentioned about a mentor then. I want to talk about the circle of people around you, because even starting the first salon, that's a scary move, which 99% of people don't even take that first step, regardless of all the steps you've taken after that. Who was the circle around you at that time, and what was their narrative? Were they pushing you to do it? Were they trying to hold you back and you broke through?
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Two Blokes, One Business podcast.
Now, apart from being world-class podcasters, we also run a recruitment agency called Harwell.
If you're keen to learn a little bit more about what we do, then head over to our Instagram @Harwell Group and check us out.
Back to the app.
This is an interesting one because I had nobody supporting me, and I've kind of always felt like that my whole life. I was very like felt alone as a child. Didn't feel like my family really like understood me very well. I think they tried, but
why is she selling so many sweets?
But I really didn't have any support until I was in like my mid to late 20s, when I started joining like a business mastermind group and things like that. I didn't know that even existed. None of my friends were entrepreneurs. My partner wasn't an entrepreneur. My parents weren't an entrepreneur. I talked to other business owners. Like, when I had the salons, I also had a wholesale range of, I imported my own hair extensions from China and would sell them to other salons. So I'd talk to other salon owners, and but I didn't have any of those entrepreneurial conversations for a really long time. So I feel like I just was forced to build this like resilience of,
Looking back now, is that a superpower, or
probably
would you change it now? If you can go back, would you actually put in some of those masterminds and network earlier on, or do you feel like going through it yourself, proving to yourself you can do it without necessarily massive support?
I don't think I would change it, because I think as much as I love masterminds and things like that, I think you can get really influenced by other people and their limiting beliefs and their ideas and things as well. Because I've been a part of a lot of different mastermind groups now, and some of them, I've been told what to do and I've done it and I'm like, this isn't for me. This doesn't work for me. Some things are great that I've got out of it, but others I'm just like, this didn't influence me well at all, being around these people and other people. It does. So yeah, I think I was just, as I said before, very just like optimistic and delusional, but also I'd have this vision in my head of what I wanted to do and I was just obsessed with it. Yeah. And I think I work better when I'm alone, like not distracted by other people's opinions.
How do you find the balance there? Because it's tough. You obviously, when you come into this world and you start seeking out advice from others, there's so many different voices, so many different opinions. And at the core of it, you have your own opinions and values. And there's the fine line between either listening to everyone's opinions and you get overwhelmed and you end up doing nothing, or just a million different things. But then on the other side, you've also got the risk of not being ego driven, but going, this is the only way, and you never change and you're never receptive to any new advice.
Yes.
And that can be just as damaging.
It can. I've definitely done that before too, where I'm just like, no, my strategy is the only way. And I was like, why isn't it working anymore? Like it used to work. I sometimes would get like even the live streams and doing launches in my group. I'm just like, this is the only way to sell things. And then just things shifted. The market shifts, like social media changes. TikTok came out, like people's attention spans change. What used to work sometimes doesn't work anymore. And you have to force yourself to be like, okay, maybe I need to explore some different options. And then I think if you're asking for advice from other people, like ask for it, don't reject it, because a lot of people be like, oh no, I can't do that because of this, or I tried that before and it didn't work. And like take it on board and then I guess try it and see how it goes, see how it feels. And then that's how you're going to learn whether it's for you or not.
You've had to be really adaptable, haven't you, with the social media business, because you told me that you first started your social media journey. Was it MySpace?
MySpace.
Oh, shit, nice.
Yeah, Facebook didn't exist when I started my spray tanning business. And I just started, I started a basic website because I knew my dad was in web development. He taught me how to write in HTML. So back then that was a super skill because nobody could make their own websites. And I sitting there just geeking out on HTML coding and Dreamweaver, and made a website and then just got onto MySpace, just started adding girls around the area, adding friends of friends. I was just like, the more people that know that I do spray tans, the better. I needed to get my name out there. And then, Facebook came along and I did kind of the same thing, just adding people. I used my personal profile for business as well as a business page and just add friends and promote stuff on there. And then, then boosted posts became a thing. And I started playing with boosted posts really early because I was like, oh, cool. I can pay $5 and get 1,000 people to see this. It's way cheaper than a flyer drop. Still people do flyer drops.
Real estate. Love it, don't they? I'll get a new flyer drop every week.
It was just bin in the bin.
Yeah.
But a good ad. And then I just started experimenting with boosted posts. This is one of the things I teach in my course, is I gave myself a non-negotiable budget that I had to spend every week. I was going to spend $50 every week on a boosted post. And I'd do a few posts throughout the week. I'd choose which one I wanted to boost, or I'd put $25 on one, $25 on another. And that's how I started to learn which type of posts worked and which didn't, because some of them were a complete flop. And I was like, well, nobody likes that, and I didn't really take it personally. Sometimes I got upset about it, but I tried not to take it personally. I was just like, this is research. I need to find out what works and what doesn't. And then when I find do a post or do an ad or find a specific photo that I'd use that would get way more attention than all the others, and I'm like, well, clearly this is what works. And then I just spend more money on that one or keep it running for a month or two. And that's how I accidentally got into advertising.
And it sounds so simple, but we've been there starting the business and we were writing out this pitch deck that we were going to send to clients, and you just stress over the absolute perfection, because back then you don't know anything other than let's make it perfect, when you actually realize it's more about the action. And we spent hours and hours trying to perfect that pitch deck. I reckon I sent that to about 3 people.
Yeah.
I'm like, what the fuck were you doing? Yeah.
When you have kids, you don't have that many hours either. So I think I was really forced into I didn't have kids that young though, but I've always just been I'm just curious. I want to know if things work or not. And I'd rather just find out quickly rather than thinking about it for ages and driving myself insane, or trying to get things perfect. So there's that saying, like, it's better done than perfect. I kind of live by that.
Yeah.
Just chuck it out there. Like,
I'm keen to dive into the secret sauce of
I knew you were going to go here.
marketing, content, everything. But before we do, let's go backwards before we go forwards, right? So if someone's in a similar boat to what you're in, didn't necessarily feel that supported, didn't have people around you who had started businesses and were leading the light, they're in that boat now, but they've got an idea, they've got the fire in them to do something. What would be your advice? What are some tips for that person to make a change?
well, I think there's so many different types of personalities as well. And I think some people really need the guidance and they need structure. And there's some people who are more like my brain that are just like, I've even got clients that come to me and they'll join my course or whatever, and they'll watch it, but they'll have their own completely unique idea that I don't even teach from watching my content, and they'll go and run with that and it'll work out, and they're just like, amazing. And then there's other people that want to be told like exactly what to do and follow a system. So I think if there was someone back, like, firstly, know yourself, like what kind of person you are. Are you just, can you pick up a book and read something and get inspired and have an idea and run with it? Or do you need to follow something? And then I guess the biggest lesson that I've learned with hiring mentors and coaches is try to find someone with either a similar personality type to you or similar values to you. Because there was someone that I worked with that, like a couple of people that I worked with that just had completely wrong values for me. They weren't as me, like they were doing things for the completely different reasons. And I felt very incongruent, like, if that makes sense. Whereas my favorite mentor ever, I'll give him a shout out, Ben Simkin. He's like one of the best Facebook advertisers. Like he just, you know him?
I know, yeah, I've heard of him.
So I'm in his mastermind at the moment. It's really good. And if you're a marketer, it's really good. If you geek out on marketing psychology, which I do. And Alan Saltanik, are you in his Facebook group? The Nothing Held Back group. Oh, you have to join it. It's amazing. Okay. So good. So I love like copywriting and marketing psychology,
nice.
But find a mentor that not has, ideally someone that's done what you want to do as well, but also that has a similar personality type or similar values. Don't just chase the one that like is the shiny thing. Like I think I've fallen into buying from some people because they looked so shiny and exciting, and then they turned out to be like really manipulative and narcissistic, and, you know, so just do your research and try not to let people sales techniques, like look out for those. I think that sales episode that you did was really good because it's about just helping people and giving them the choice rather than using all those old sleazy manipulative pressure tactics.
Yeah. I like the value alignment you say with your mentors, because you can go and seek out the best person in your industry, right? You can go and seek out an Alex Hormozy, for example.
Yeah.
But then when you look into his lifestyle, he doesn't run on a Monday to Friday week. He doesn't run on a 9 to 5 day. Like he says, I'll have a sprint of 21 days where I work 20 hours a day and I'm just in the mix. Well, if you can't commit to that lifestyle through, whether that's through you don't want to work that much, whether it's because you've got kids, he's not going to be a very good mentor for you because he's built that businesses from working in that sort of environment.
Yeah.
So if you can't go and replicate that, where do you expect to get? He will be able to help you to a certain extent, right? Alex Hormozy is incredible, but are you going to hit Alex Hormozy levels when you're only doing half the work and you've got half the energy? Fuck no.
Nah. Fun story about Alex Hormozy. I was in a mastermind with him when he very first started with Layla at their grandma's kitchen table.
Jeez,
wow.
So I was on Zoom calls with him every week.
That's so cool.
And he just went bam, like up here, and everyone else in the group was like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
I think it was the partnership. Like it was him and her, and they just went fucking power couple. Like,
yeah. You listen to, but then even
so
that.
underrated, like having a partner that's all in on the same thing with you.
Yeah. But you listen to podcast episodes where they discuss it. And when they got together, they both agreed the businesses come first.
Yeah.
So in their relationship, the business comes first, their relationship comes second, which is why they're such a power couple in the business world. My partner would fucking hate that. Like, she'd have been gone years ago. So it's, again, you've got to find a secret sauce that works for you.
Yeah, that's really interesting as well, because I think of Mads, my fiance now, and I'm like, babe, we're starting this new business, we've got this podcast. She's not materialistic at all, right? For her, she wants time.
She wants cuddles.
Big time, right? Yeah. So when I'm going, but if I do this new business, and we could do this revenue, and then we could do that. And she's like, that's all good, but I don't need any of that. Okay. I just want to hang out, have quality time and, you know, enjoy. So that's the values.
That just comes out, different life values. Like, but also I'm the same, like, I've in my relationship now, my partner works away 2 weeks and then he's home 2 weeks. And at first I'm like, I don't know how I feel about that. But now that I'm used to it, I'm like, I love this. I get like 2 weeks of just, I mean, I've got my kids as well, like half time with their dad. But I get days of just like, I can just,
time.
yeah, undistracted, uninterrupted. And then when he's home, obviously we value the time together so much because it's limited and you miss each other, and then you know, have special dates and whatever. So it's a bit chaotic, but it's a good balance.
Yeah. Okay, you
I was going to say, I feel like we're going down the pathway, which is one of your main things of build a business that supports your life.
Yeah.
Can we dig into that more?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess at a high level, I guess you're coaching, who is your ICP, which is your ideal customer profile? And then what are the main ways you try and help?
Yeah,
people?
well, I'll just give you a breakdown of what my sales customer journey process. So mostly I help salon owners because that was my background. So when I started out as a business coach, I didn't niche into salons. I was just like, I can help everyone, and it still worked. And I've got clients in lots of different industries. As I said, I've got a fruit and veggie shop owner. I had a mechanic. I have a lot of people in fitness or like tattooing. There's a lot of different industries, but mostly salons. And I attract them through, I've actually been running the same ad for 10 years. And this is what I tell people, like, if you get a good ad, it will just keep working. And hair and beauty salon owners are like, there's hundreds of thousands of them. Like, I can build a multi-million-dollar business off just that niche as well. It's not limiting myself. Like, and there's new ones starting every day because it's such an easy industry to get into. So I'm never going to run out of clients, even if I stick to that industry my whole life. Like, that industry is never going away. And so I've got this one ad. I've got different variations of the same ad, but essentially it's a free ebook, and it is how to grow your business with social media. Very, very simple. And it tells my story. Like, literally the ad just says, when I was 21, I started a spray tanning business in my garage. And then within 3 years, I built it into a chain of 5 shops that ran without me. How did I do it? Boosted posts. A lot of people still try and boost posts and think that they don't work. And then I go and have a look at them and I'm like, I see what you're doing wrong. And then I was like, there's a really big difference between posts that get attention and posts that get crickets. And I've put all my best tips into this free book. If you want it, just click here and download it. And I get, depending on how much I spend on that ad, like I can increase that to $500 a day, $1,000 a day, and I'll get like hundreds of leads every single day, which overwhelms me. I've done that before. I grew my group from like 18,000 to 33,000 like really fast. But with that, I like to keep it like actually manageable unless I want to expand my team. So, and I don't want to expand my team too big because lifestyle is my primary value. And I have had a team of like 11 and that was too much for me. And now I have a team of 2 and that works really well and I make a lot more profit. And so, that book, people download the book, they go on my email list, they join my Facebook group. My emails that get sent out, bounce them around to my Instagram, bounce them around to my YouTube channel. Lots of value, lots of value, lots of value. And my main goal isn't just to sell straight away, it's to warm people up because my vision isn't, and this is why I don't do cheap little like $25 courses or $5 courses or anything, because I don't want to make a quick sale. I want to build a long-term, like some of my clients have been with me for 10 years. Like they've been paying me for 10 years. And a lot of clients come to me and they're like, I've been following you for a year and now I'm ready. So I think really long-term ahead, I understand the journey that they go on to build trust. I know that they might buy all these other short courses from all these other people, but then when they come back to me, they'll be in my mastermind for like 2 to 3 years and they'll pay me, 20, 30 grand. So
power of niching, we discussed it prior. It's just going so deep. And I feel like you've had really good success from building that community.
Yes.
So if you're niching and you have really, really clear messaging to salon owners, as you still pick up the other stuff along the way. Like I recruit in finance and exec, but I still get clients to say, hey, can you do a HR manager role? But people know me for doing finance and exec. It's just so much easier to probably direct all your marketing content as well towards that one crowd, which in turn builds a community. You warm people up because you know everything about them and then they become high ticket sales. And when they do buy that product, they're serious as well because you go free offer to high ticket.
Yeah.
And then you know that they're in and they're serious.
And I'm really clear in my marketing and sales stuff where I'm like, I don't do a quick fix kind of thing. Like if you want to grow your business, there's actually a lot of little things that you need to improve. a lot of what I teach in my course is like I write a lot of ads, I write a lot of templates, I give them all of those, like you can go and use these proven to work ads that I've written for hair and beauty salons. Like a lot of people come for that, like that's what attracts them. I want these ads. But I'm like, you actually need to learn upselling strategies and retention and strategies and customer experience strategies, and you need to understand yourself and your personality and your limiting beliefs, and a lot of like that's all of the psychology stuff and like leadership and team management. And that can take a year to like get all of those things. You can't just instantly improve or change those. So I kind of break things down into either like weekly or monthly goals for them. And I'm like, if you want to double or triple your business, like that's what I help people to do. Like that's my goal. I know I can do it because I've helped heaps of people double. Like some people do it in 12 weeks, some people do it in 12 months. It just depends where they're at and how committed they are. But I'm like, I can't help you just go from 5K a month to 20K a month in a $27 mini course. Sorry.
Where are they at just before they click, pay on the money to come and do your course? Where are they at on their journey? What are their frustrations? What have they tried and failed on? And what are they, I guess, hoping for?
They've usually tried to do a lot themselves already and realized it hasn't worked, or they've worked with a few other people and haven't got results. And then I try and ask a lot of questions like, well, what did that other person teach you? Like, I want to know what other people are doing. And I think the missing ingredient is the psychology part. Like I dive so deep into not just custom avatars, but like, different levels of customer awareness and trust building and how everyone's so skeptical and how to get them to kind of soften a little bit when they're talking to you. Because you can run an ad and get like 20 leads for a beauty salon service and they'll all pop into your inbox. But if you're just sending a bot reply to try and be like, click here to book now, like nobody's going to book it.
Where do you sit? This is Harv's going to roll his eyes in the back of his head now. Where do you sit with the AI enablement and implementation with all of this?
In Facebook Ads Manager, I fucking hate it. Yeah. Like I turn it all off and I've experimented with it. Yeah. Some people are saying you should use it, you let AI do everything. And I heard a rumor that Facebook's going to take away all the manual settings and just have AI everything. And I really hope that doesn't happen. But if it does, you just got to adapt with it. Don't complain. just go with it. And then it becomes all about the copy. So then your copy, like if you can't choose the targeting, then the message is the targeting because that'll call in the right people. But in Facebook ads, I turn off every single AI enhancement possible. And I just go to manual settings because I know who the people are that I'm talking to, and they are hair and beauty salon owners between the ages of 25 to 45 in Australia and New Zealand and the UK. I don't target America anymore.
Yeah. Is that how you're standing out then, by keeping that human element? Because I've put myself into a few funnels at the moment to do a bit of research, and now I'm getting smashed with every sponsored course or coach ad in the world. And obviously a lot of them will be using that AI function. Is that how it's easy to stick out and gain trust in this?
I think that probably comes down to personal values as well, because I know one of my old clients who I still follow, she's going heavily into the AI. Like she's starting a new business creating AI avatars for fashion brands or beauty products brands, so they don't have to pay models. They can just create their own model who models the clothes, who models the products, but the whole thing is AI. And some people, I think, like that. And myself personally, I feel really icky about it. And I'm like, I don't trust your brand at all if I know that it's AI. Like if I go to an online clothing shop and I see all the clothes AI, I'm like, it's not even real. Like why would I buy that if it's not real? So I think I really value realness. So I will not be, I created an AI avatar just to experiment with it. I'm like, this is creepy as hell. I don't want to do this.
There's influencers now, AI influencers on Instagram with like 200,000 followers, and whoever's created it's like netting 6 figures a year off this fake account.
Outrageous.
So I think like there's a market for it, absolutely. And if you feel fine with it, like whatever, I will not be doing that.
Not for you. Because I think my favourite quote from Stephen Bartlett is normally as one thing gets really popular, which AI is now, everyone's talking about it, so does the polar opposite.
Yes.
So like Spotify, for example, music whenever you want. At the same time that spiked, so did going and buy vinyl records.
Yeah.
Because people want that real tangible,
Yes.
something you can touch
Yeah,
as
yeah.
well. So
I miss that. I miss having just a CD shelf that you can just go, I feel like this album today. Now I wake up and I'm like, I can't think of anything.
You'll be selling
I
them
want
again
to
if they come
see. I
back.
want to see my range in front of me.
Yeah.
never in business.
Yeah. The way we're looking at AI is that using it to stitch together our back-end platforms. So
Yeah.
we will never use it for outward-facing content. Yes, we use it to help us with copy every now and then because we're not copywriters.
Yeah.
But it'll be how can we streamline the back end of our business in order to maximize myself and Adam's time in front of people gaining that human connection.
Yes.
I think that's where it can be really positive for the world. But it's when we start to replace actual humans with it. Like if you now saying we can replace models, like
Scary.
what the fuck's gonna happen?
I use it for just brainstorming with like a live journal that I can chat to until it starts to annoy me because it's like, do you want me to do this now? And I'm like, no, just focus on what I just said. Or I use it to like reshape my thoughts sometimes if I feel like I'm stuck in a little thought pattern or something. I'm like, hey, so today I wanted to do this, but I'm thinking this and I don't want to do this, but I need to do it. Like, and then it'll give me this little pep talk or something.
It's like a little strategic advisor, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, or you can analyze if you're really like over analyzing conversations or interactions with people. Like sometimes we're like, oh, so this person said this. I don't know. I feel weird about it. Like, why? Can you help me understand why this conversation upset me? And it's like, oh, because, and then it'll like break down this little psychological,
A therapist almost.
Yeah, like a little therapist.
With the businesses, and you'd be exposed to a lot of different businesses in all industries, as we said. What are, I guess, 3 key areas that people are struggling with? And what I'm trying to do is if someone's listening to this and they're a little bit further on than where you were before you started the salon, they've made that leap, they've started the business, it's great, but they potentially haven't got the lifestyle they thought they would, or they're working 60 hours a week, or they're not producing the revenue they need to live the life they want. What are, I guess, the top 3 issues where people can get things really right or potentially really wrong?
Yeah, the top 3, well, definitely lead generation and sales because that's where money comes from. Sometimes people just, their marketing isn't working well enough. They're not getting as many leads coming in, or they are getting the leads, but they're not good at selling and getting them in the door. So that's just skill development that they can learn those things. If they have a staff member or 2, sometimes they're still stuck in the business doing way too much themselves and they feel like they like working to pay the staff's wages. They're not even paying themselves a lot of the time. And I think that is also a skill, but also a mindset shift of like, I don't have to, like, these people are capable with the right training, or if they're not, find some other ones.
Yeah.
But a lot of it all comes down to like ego and limiting beliefs, really, at the end of the day. Like a lot of people want a strategy, but it's like, well, you need to change your thoughts. That's the strategy. Then the results will change. But yeah, lead generation, sales, and probably not enough support.
In what way?
Like having team members that can do things
People.
for you.
Yeah.
Like they're still trying to do everything themselves, or they think they have to.
Yeah. What's the biggest mistake that you made back at the start of your journey? And that's the main thing that you stop most of your clients making now?
Probably just, hiring the wrong people, or like not educating myself on people, or keeping the wrong people for too long as well. Like I really try to see the best in people, and it made me get taken advantage of really badly a few times. So I still don't want to lose that because I want to try and see the best in people, but also just, I guess, asking more questions and doing a little bit more research into people before you trust them with everything.
I love it when we get that answer. Like even, but again, you go back to like Bartlett, Martell, Hormozy. Every single one of them says number one thing in a business is the people. And again, if you sat on a business idea now, you probably can't relate to thinking about hiring your first person. You're probably shit scared of actually starting the business. But it should be in your mind now, because when you do get to a stage of hiring your first person, especially early on, that can make or break you. Like we were very lucky that the first 2 people we hired, one was a really good friend of mine who I'd known for 10 years. And we'd worked with him before. And the other one was Chloe, who we'd also worked with before. So we knew
That's good.
they were good operators and the right fit for our business. Had we not had them, because we had 0 leadership experience at the time, and we hired them because they just plug and play. They needed 0 hand holding. They just came in and did exactly what they'd done in a massive global corporate company. So it was easy. If we didn't have those two as our first two hires, well, in all honesty, the next three that came in, we fucked it. They're all gone. So it's nice to hear that answer, because obviously that's what we're so passionate about.
Yeah. Well, even if it's not staff, it's still people, because your clients are still people. So you've got to, like, I just look at a business as it is literally just all made of people. It's people paying you. It's you paying people. It's you paying for things and creating things. It's just, even social media, I don't look at it as though like it's a platform as such. It's like it's literally just someone else on the other side of the screen. Like, and you've just got to communicate to the right people.
In the right way.
Yeah.
Peace, love, profit.
Yeah.
What does that mean, and why is it so powerful in the way you live your life?
That is my signature course right now, because that is what I try and help people to achieve through their business. So a lot of people are, and it's the opposite of what a lot of people are experiencing, right? So a lot of people are stressed out of their effing minds. So I want them to have peace within themselves, within their business, within their mind. So that's why a lot of the mindset stuff comes in there. Love is a big value of mine, because I believe that you should do everything from the heart, and I believe that people can feel the energy that you put into things as well. So if you're coming from your head and you're trying to be really strategic and trying to write ads and desperate promotions and trying to make money and stuff, like, people can feel that and they are repelled by it. Whereas if you sit down and you write a promotion or an ad or come up with an offer, like literally just from the heart, because you want to help someone, it's going to sell so much better. Like, every single time I'd come to do something from my head or my ego and it's too strategic, it doesn't work. And then
That's powerful.
Yeah.
That's really good.
And then profit, because you want to make as much money as you can off everything.
Yeah. I really like your story. I think it should be so easy for people to connect, because you're so real. Like, it's a story of fearlessness from jumping in to your first business at 21 and not giving a shit if it didn't work. And then you stood there with 5 salons. Then you've backed yourself to pivot, and the consistency to plug away within one niche back when your social media journey started on MySpace.
Yeah.
Like, look how much transition you've come through, and you're still there, knocking it out. And that's why you sat here today with an extremely profitable business. Like, you're absolutely killing it, and you've got 2 staff.
Yeah.
And you've built a business that serves your life.
Yeah.
Like, that is a story that
the goal.
People should be fucking going.
It is the goal.
Yeah. That people probably want to hear more from you. And where can they find you?
My Facebook group, Coffee with Carissa, and my Instagram, Carissa Hill Coach, is where I'm mostly hanging out.
Awesome. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.